Morning, I'm Carol Costello. Thanks so much for joining me. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton back on the campaign trail this morning, both claiming victory in last night's presidential debate. Those smiles in the opening seconds didn't last, and the fangs soon came out. Both candidates launching blistering insults and both accusing the other of hiding secrets from the American public.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted. As soon as she releases them, I will release my tax returns.
Maybe he's not as rich as he says he is. Second, maybe he's not as charitable as he claims to be. Third, we don't know all of his business dealings, but we have been told through investigative reporting that he owes about $650 million to Wall Street and foreign banks. Or maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes.
This morning, Mr. Trump also criticizing the debate's moderator, saying Lester Holt only lobs softball questions to Hillary Clinton.
Well, he didn't ask her about the emails at all. He didn't ask her about her scandals. He didn't ask her about the Benghazi deal that she destroyed. He didn't ask her about a lot of things that she should have been asked about. I mean, you know, there's no question about it.
A lot to cover this morning. Let's begin with CNN's Phil Mattingly. He has the highlights and the lowlights.
Yeah, definitely a lot of both in the 97 minutes we witnessed last night. Look, there was a clear issue that both candidates wanted to hit when they got on that debate stage. For Hillary Clinton, it was to try and make clear she was the most prepared, she was the most ready for the Oval Office. For Donald Trump, it was to make clear that he was the change agent. He was going to be the one that changed the status quo inside Washington. And both candidates clearly had their positive motives. Donald Trump registering strong numbers on trade, registering clear hits, attacking Clinton for her history. But Hillary Clinton able to kind of pin Donald Trump into a corner with a question that she didn't even ask on Donald Trump's years-long attempt to attack President Obama's birthplace. Take a listen.
I think I did a great job and a great service, not only for the country, but even for the president in getting him to produce his birth certificate.
Secretary Clinton.
So he tried to put the whole racist birther lie to bed. But it can't be dismissed that easily. So he has a long record of engaging in racist behavior. And the birther lie was a very hurtful one.
Now, Carol, I don't know that we've ever heard anything like that on a debate stage. Obviously, the back and forth was so intense that you could have overlooked the fact that a major party candidate was calling another major party candidate responsible for racist behavior. That is a very, very big deal. But Donald Trump, as I noted, had big moments in the debate and attempted to attack Hillary Clinton on something we've heard repeatedly on the campaign trail, her stamina. Clinton firing back. Take a listen.
I don't believe that Hillary has the stamina.
As soon as he travels to 112 countries and negotiates a peace deal, a ceasefire, a release of dissidents, an opening of new opportunities in nations around the world, or even spends 11 hours testifying in front of a congressional committee, he can talk to me about stamina.
The rebuttal there from Secretary Clinton. Look, both candidates trying to spin this as a victory, as all campaigns always do in the wake of the debates. But what will be interesting to see in the days and weeks ahead. Carol, there are some crucial issues that are major components of Donald Trump's campaign that weren't even mentioned last night. Now, you heard him complain that that was because of the moderator. But when you talk to Republicans who are familiar with how debates actually work, it's up to the candidate often to bring those issues up. So there are 2 debates left. It's almost certain issues like the Clinton Foundation or Benghazi or Hillary Clinton's emails, to a more kind of extensive way of looking at it, will be issues that he brings up. In the meantime, it's all about the swing states. Once again, Carol, Hillary Clinton in North Carolina, Donald Trump in Florida today. Those are crucial states for both of them if they want to win on November 8th. That will be the issue going forward.
And both candidates having the stamina to do that this morning. Phil Mattingly, thanks so much. With the first one-on-one with Hillary Clinton behind him, Trump is already looking ahead to their next face-off, which is less than 2 weeks away, and he gave his buddies at Fox and Friends a preview.
Well, I may hit her harder in certain ways. I really eased up because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But so I may hit her harder in certain ways. I think that I don't know if it's the same forum, if it's a similar forum. I had a problem with a microphone that didn't work. I don't know if you saw that in the room, but my microphone was terrible. I wonder, was it set up that way on purpose? My microphone in the room, they couldn't hear me. You know, it was going on and off.
Wow.
Which isn't exactly great. I wonder if it was set up that way, but it was terrible. That.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Jackie Kucinich is with me. She's the Washington bureau chief for the Daily Beast. Michael Warren is here. He's a staff writer for the Weekly Standard. David Swerdlock joins me too. He's assistant editor for the Washington Post, and Todd Graham is a debate director for Southern Illinois at Carbondale. Welcome to all of you. So Todd, big, huge picture. You hear Mr. Trump saying, you know what, I had a bad microphone, like Lester Holt threw me really awful questions. Who won this debate?
Well, I think it was pretty easy who lost this debate. Donald Trump had a very, very bad night. So when I graded him today on my CNN.com piece, Donald Trump got an F.
Why so? Why did you give him an F?
Well, I mean, there's two aspects to every debate. There's content and delivery. I didn't think he came through on either. As far as his sort of delivery, well, he started with frowns and growls, and that was on the first answer from Hillary Clinton. And it just went from there to his interrupting her constantly over and over and over again. And frankly, it was rude and annoying. It was just too much. As for his content, well, he rambled quite a bit during most of his answers, and it was hard to follow his train of thought. And then he just had some flat out bad answers during the debate.
Well, you know, optics, I think, really matter in debates. And Jackie, a lot of people noticed that Donald Trump was sniffling a lot last night, and he was drinking a lot of water. So I'm just going to give our viewers an example of that. Watch.
Hundreds and hundreds of companies are doing this. Is that okay? Good. We used certain laws that are there.
So Jackie, again on Fox and Friends this morning, he tried to explain his sniffles away. Here's what he told them.
What's the deal with the sniffles? You know, I heard you in, I think, the first answer. It sounded like you had seasonal allergies or a little cold. What's up with that?
No sniffles. No. You know, the mic was very bad, but maybe it was good enough to hear breathing. But there was no sniffles. I don't have.
So you don't have a
no
cold?
Allergy. No
Okay.
cold.
Okay.
Every once in a while, but no cold.
So
Donald Trump never gets sick, Carol, ever.
I don't know if I thought he had a cold or what, you know, the drinking water, like that seemed like a nervous tick to me.
It seemed like, I mean, I don't know this to be a fact, but it seemed to happen when he was getting irritated. So maybe it was a way that, you know, a debate coach told him to cool down and just pick up the water, take a drink,
water.
Get a drink of water. I don't know that, but it seemed to be about the time that he may have been getting irritated. But, you know, if this was Hillary Clinton and coughs, we'd be having another discussion entirely. But it is strange that he would.
No, let's pause right there because you said something. Because most of my Democratic friends said their biggest fear during last night's debate was if Hillary Clinton would have a coughing attack.
And she didn't, and I guess she met and exceeded expectations, right?
She never took a sip of water either.
But look, I mean, look, it's a fact of the race that there are two different standards for Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. It's just because Donald Trump is such a force on TV and is such a unique and sort of almost bizarre candidate. So he's going to get judged on a different level. But I think it's more important, you know, besides the TV theatrics, to focus on why last night was somewhat of a failure. I wouldn't give him an F necessarily, but the fact is that Trump got off message. Right. And Hillary Clinton was able to get under his skin enough to get him off message. At the very beginning, those first 15 minutes when he was talking about trade and really going hard against Hillary Clinton, I thought were some of the best 15 minutes of his entire campaign. It was only when she sort of started to go after him on really kind of a personal level that he lost it, started sniffing a little bit, and then everything went downhill from there.
So David, do you think the next debate will be different?
Carol, I think the next debate will be sort of more illustrative. Will tell us a little more about what we learned in this debate tonight. I think Clinton clearly won, but she won on points. She was the more comfortable, the more prepared, and the more upbeat even. But I don't think she landed any knockout blows or even knockdown blows. So I'd like to see in the next debate whether this means that this is part of her strategy to just sort of needle him, to get him, as we were just saying a moment ago, off message, just to maintain this lead that she has and not let him sort of move forward in the discussion in this one-on-one debate, or if it was simply the case that she too was playing it safe, and just by the mere fact that she was more prepared, she did better than him. Just to go back to the sniffles, for what it's worth, my theory is also, like Jackie said, that it was a little bit of nerves, because I saw it go away as the debate kind of wound
Yeah.
down.
So let's talk about over preparing and being scripted, because at times Hillary Clinton did seem that way, and that was brought up during the debate. Let's listen.
I think Donald just criticized me for preparing for this debate. And yes, I did. And you know what else I prepared for? I prepared to be president. And I think that's a good thing.
So, Todd, obviously that was a line that Hillary Clinton could not wait to deliver. She also had another catchy phrase. What was it? Trickle down Trump economics?
Trump
something
up,
like
trickle down.
Thank you very much.
Next summer's next pop hit.
Next pop hit. So, Todd, how would you grade Hillary Clinton?
Well, as far as like her persona on stage, I kind of rated it as a B-, because you're right. She was prepared, and she was so prepared, in fact, that I think she forgot the key ingredient that I always say is she needs to bring a conversational quality. And so she needs to seem a little bit more human. My example of where that went a little bit wrong is, frankly, you wouldn't act like that, nor would I, if we were being interrupted as much as she was. Not once did she stop. And it's just natural for you to stop and look at the other person and just, I wanted her one time to look at Donald Trump and say, stop interrupting me. Because you would do that and I would do that. And so that's kind of the steady as she goes, Clinton. It works for her because, you know, it's fine and it keeps her emotions at a steady pace. But sometimes steady as she go isn't appropriate. And I think she should have called him out.
But I will say this, Jackie, and I've heard from many of my women friends who have high-powered jobs. They despise being interrupted in the boardroom, and they really noticed those interruptions, and those interruptions bothered them.
Well, right. I mean, it is seen as disrespectful, but I think it can go both ways. If Hillary Clinton was constantly interrupting Donald Trump, she would look bad as well. It just looked disruptive. He wouldn't let her talk at some points because he was so desperate to either get a catchphrase or a one-liner or something in, and it wasn't even really substantive. He was just interrupting her, and so I don't think I don't think he looked very good for that.
And the returns on the interruptions weren't there. I mean,
exactly.
she didn't get rattled. She was sort of calm and cool. I think asking
somebody told her to smile.
Yeah, exactly. But I think asking Hillary Clinton to be a little more human is probably a little more than she was able to give. So I think sort of sticking to the script is about the best Hillary Clinton could do.
So David, what was the big takeaway in your mind about both candidates? About Donald Trump? Was it about his taxes? About Hillary Clinton? Was it about I don't know, her answer to the email controversy?
Well, in one sense, the takeaway, and again, this goes to what comes in the second and third debate, is that we didn't fully drill down on either candidate, I don't think, on the things that hurt them the most. Clinton did a fairly effective job of pressing Donald Trump on the birther issue, saying, as Phil reported at the top, right, that she called it perpetuation of, I think, a racist lie, and then she also said, described his racist behavior, never going quite as far as describing him as a racist, which I think is smart. But, you know, Donald Trump has managed to get this far by perpetuating his own narrative, which is that he was doing the country a service. I don't think people bought it. It was reflected in the CNN ORC overnight poll that showed that 62% of people said that she won the debate, but I still feel like she did not press him hard enough, and she didn't turn the birther issue into an opportunity to discuss how people in the country, how different races, different cultures can come together. She stuck to prosecuting the case against him. In Trump's case, he did not do a good job at all of pressing her on the emails. It was almost a repeat of Senator Sanders letting her off the hook in the first Democratic debate. I was surprised by that.
All right, we'll see what happens next time. Jackie Kucinich, Todd Graham, Michael Warren, David Swerdlook, thanks to all of you. Still to come in the newsroom, keeping the candidates